Beyondrew TV here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the final episode here of Riverside Splash Park. So for the final episode, I figured we'd go ahead and do a fly around tour of the entire park and ride every single slide in the park as well. And yes, every single one, not just one per slide complex, but every single one. So alrighty, let's go ahead and not waste too much time and jump into this. So yeah, coming into our main entrance area, a lot of this was inspired by and taken reference from the park Six Flags Hurricane Harbor Rockford, formerly known as Magic Waters, where I used to be a lifeguard, so I have a very nice familiarity with the area. But yeah, here's our little entrance area with our ticket booths and everything. Something I didn't show off in the final build episode was were these lockers here, these locker buildings rather. So I placed a few of these around the park. They all pretty much look the same, but there we go. We got our lockers finally, and a lot of you recommended getting those in, and yeah, I think that's a great idea for the park. So yeah, let's go ahead and we're gonna start as we come in here. Let's start a little bit of left to right, and that's gonna almost be the build order as well in here. So starting left to right, we have Surfer's Drop in the background there. We have, oh my gosh, I can't remember, it's been that long. We have Tubular, that's right, and then off to the right-hand side, we have the Abyss as over there. So let's go ahead and we will look at everything from above, and then like I said, we'll go ahead and ride all of these slides. Looks like there's no one over here, which is pretty typical nowadays, so we'll get a first-hand ride on everything, be able to be the first ones on there. But let's go ahead and head on over to Surfer's Drop, which these were my very first slides that I built for the entire park, and these are 3 different body slides here. So yeah, why don't we go ahead and take a ride on all 3 of these. So there was Surfer's Drop. Have a few cool elements inside of this slide complex. One of them being this transparent turn right here, which, yeah, if this was in real life, that would scare the heck out of me, just seeing the floor kind of bottom out like that, right? And then the middle slide is really fun because if you look at it from the top here, you can kind of see the special element that we use, which is that kind of figure 8 element there. And yeah, it happened to kind of squeeze itself, fit itself right into where we need it to for the slide complex. So yeah, that was Surfer's Drop, the first slide complex I built for this park, and really the first slide complex I built in general. So next up, let's head over to, it's going to be Tubular over here. We have 2 tube slides to go on here. So let's go ahead and ride Tubular. And there was our ride on Tubular with our test dummy friends. It would be cool if we could ride with people on here, but yeah, since I've expanded the park out from the beginning days, no one basically rides any of the slides around here, and unfortunately that seems like a common thing right now, probably until that December update. So when the December update happens, we might have to come back into this park and take a look at it and see how everything's kind of changed with the slide physics and the guest update and everything. Also, another thing to point out, I'm pretty sure that when we were riding, the slide dummies were they had like a white texture on them. On here it shows them that they have a blue texture, so it's kind of interesting how they change colors. But anyways, let's continue on over here to the Abyss. And yeah, this gets its name basically because all of these slides are in the dark. So yeah, there's 3 slides here. One of them is that big old funnel ending slide there. It's pretty neat. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a ride on the Abyss slide complex here. All right, well, that does it for this little corner of the park here. And yeah, already we have, let's see, what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 slides under our belt in just one little corner of the park. I love how you can get so many rides, or you kind of get the ride count way up there with these slides in just one platform, because you can make it so big. You can get so many different slides going off one platform, right? So, but let's go ahead and we will go across the way here. If anyone needs to stop for a snack, we got the Snack Shack. Also a little vegan area next to it as well, just in case your tastes are different than the Snack Shack and everything, I guess, right? So yeah, have our little eateries and everything, but behind it is some very, very fun stuff here. And that's gonna be our little kids splash pad. There's 2 different splash pads in the park, and this is like the very, very little kids here. Had a lot of fun making this with some of the art shapes and different kind of wall art and all that kind of different stuff that we have in the game so far. And then behind it's the really, really cool thing, and this is going to be the Hilltop Loopers. This is one of the few rides that does still get people riding it over here, and how could they not, right? Look how cool this thing is over here. So yeah, we have the kind of synchronized 2 different looping slides here, one taller than the other. The blue side a little bit taller, a little bit faster, a little bit loopier than the yellow side. But yeah, let's go ahead and, you know what, we will take a ride on both of them. There's Hilltop Loopers, and yeah, one of my favorite attractions or favorite slide complexes in the park, and one of the easiest builds really to do. Those slide or the loops for the slides there are 2 special objects we have in game, or 2 special slide pieces. So yeah, it was very, very easy to put those down. I think you could scale them a little bit, and bada bing, bada boom, there you go. Across from Hilltop Loopers, we have the very creatively named Hilltop Racers. So this is the mat racer ride. Now I will kind of go back on what I said earlier about riding everything. We're not going to ride these only because, and I don't know if it's because they're kind of like right next to each other, as in like the slides right next door to each other, but yeah, the POV of this is just bad. You can kind of see it in episode 2 of this series. At the end of it, I do a short one, but it just jitters and janks and just, it's bad. It's just not fun at all. You can kind of see it doing it right there while he's riding it. We'll follow him. That's as much as we're gonna do, but yeah, it's just not even worth the POV, unfortunately. But I do love these mat racers and how this turned out, how colorful, excuse me, this is. Because yeah, when we're above the park, especially at the beginning, this thing just stands out like the rainbow that it is right there, right? So that's pretty great. I love how that looks. But yeah, that right there for me is kind of the first half of the park already done. You got so many slides in the first half of the park there. And yeah, the mat racers, or the Hilltop Racers, is kind of the cut point right there, because then we get to the wave pool. And yeah, love how the wave pool turned out. And I say this every time we do talk about the wave pool, that the only thing I wish we could do, and I hope this comes in a future update, is that we could have timed waves. Because as of now, the wave machines that we have go constantly, all the time. And it would be really cool, because at least here in the States, in the United States of America at wave pools, they kind of go on like maybe once every hour, or once every like, you know, half a day or something like that. But anyways, and there's also different intensities. And I do believe we can kind of stack waves or wave machines on each other to get these really big waves and everything. But it would be really, really cool if we could kind of edit and mess with the intensity, the time that they go off, maybe just hook them up to the, what do you call it, the sequencer and everything. So, but anyways, no, I still love how the wave pool turned out, and every so often you even get people hanging out in the lounge chairs, which is really, really fun to see. It's funny what everyone kind of gets freaked out about is like being happy about, I should say, in this game, because the guest AI is a little borked at the moment until the December update. So there's always pictures people posting in different Discords of like, hey, look, there's people laying down in my chairs. And it's like, yay, that's what we have to be happy about right now. But anyways, let's go ahead and we'll move forward past the Waves of Fun backstage area and into what was the last build, the latest episode of Riverside Splash Park. And again, an area that some people go to, because I did kind of sneak another pool in the back right corner just to get people to, oh look, someone actually rode the straight down slide. That was so great. But anyways, that's the rarity of people riding stuff over here. But yeah, I love this area, how it turned out. Again, this is the what would be kind of the most recent addition to Riverside Splash Park, with all of these brand new attractions, all bright and shiny, and got these brand new elements rather on them. And yeah, I did also name this episode of this area the comment section park, basically, because these were all the elements that people in the comment section were really wanting to see. So we have your, as we saw already, the straight down super duper tall slide with another one attached to the back. We have the synchronized bowl slides right here, the body slides that end in the bowls. We have your big old raft slide here that ends with the half pipe. And then you have another big raft slide as well that ends in the shark bait hoo-ha-ha. I've TM, I named that, and I made that up. No one else has ever said that before, ever. But anyways, yeah, the giant shark bait thing right here going on that ends in a bowl. So I mean, heck, we got all the things, right? But yeah, we got to ride all these now, because there's a whole bunch of cool things to ride over here. Why don't we start from right to left, and we'll start with the shark bait hoo-ha-ha raft. Is the newest section of Riverside Splash Park, and yeah, no, I really like how a lot of these slides turned out. And this is a big area where I want to come back and see how a lot of these special elements turn out when the physics is turned on, or kind of reworked, whatever you want to call it. But especially this half pipe one, I had to redo this slide a lot, which kind of made it so I had to redo the blue slide a lot. But yeah, getting that half pipe kind of like animation to work, you got to really get those slides cooking as far as speed goes, to get them to go up and over the slide right. Otherwise, it just kind of goes up and back into the same flume or same trough, whatever you want to call it, as it was before. So yeah, that took some getting used to get that to work. But tell you what, let's go ahead and head out this way back towards our wave pool. As it's starting to rain, I'm noticing, which means it's going to probably rain for the next 3 days straight in the game. But let's head over this way, where it opens up to our cabanas. And these are going to be your private cabanas for the day, if you'd like to pony up some extra bucks and kind of rent these for you and your family and everything. So I've done this once before when going to a water park, and we had a large family get together that was meeting up, and it was really worth it, especially the larger group that we had. But yeah, it was really nice to be able to keep all of our stuff inside and come back for lunch and just kind of have our own little private area to hang out with family and everything. But so kind of tried to get that in here. We have our refrigerator down here made with a in-game art shape and a handle from a lamp. In game as well. Then we also have some food over here as well. But yeah, no, just a little hangout area with some private shades and everything, with our private cabanas back here. And a lot of you had some great ideas, but I'd already gotten building on this in the backside here to add some like private hot tubs, maybe a private swim up bar and stuff like that. And yeah, those are all fantastic ideas that we'll have to remember for future episodes or future series, I should say, as we do some more new water parks and everything. So, but as we turn around over here, we come to one of my favorite areas of the entire build, and this was the longest part of the build, but definitely turned out really, really nice. I'm really jazzed about how this turned out. But beyond Pizza Paradise, we have our Riverside Lazy River and splash pad, I guess you'd say. So we had our kiddie splash pad in the front area, but now we have our big splash pad area with the big dumping bucket and all the different slides and squirt guns and, you know, you name it. There's just any possible way to kind of get wet or get someone else wet over here. This is the place to do it, right? So and then also, yeah, big shout out to everyone in the episode where I did this, wondering how to get people to do the rafts or the tubes and everything. Big shout out for recommending the Splash Emporium, because yeah, now the Lazy River is full of people with the rafts and the tubes and everything like that. So yeah, this one, let's go ahead and back up a little bit, give you a overhead view of what's going on here. So we have our Lazy River making an island out of the middle splash pad area. And this is based off of, I did mention it before, look at them, they're doing like a conga line right there. Everyone's in the same line on the Lazy River. But anyways, this is based off of the Six Flags Hurricane Harbor, formerly Magic Waters. I'm always going to say formerly Magic Waters because when I worked there, it was called Magic Waters. But yeah, this is based off of that. So not an exact recreation, but definitely heavily inspired, there we go, by it. So let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. And oh my gosh, this is where, whenever the park opens and closes for the day, this is where everyone goes, and they're still here. Everyone hangs out on the Lazy River and inside here just walking around, because unfortunately guests cannot use these slides. I built all these slides up and then came to realize that getting the entrance connected with the path and everything was not going to turn out how I wanted it to. Unfortunately, it was going to just kind of jack up the entire build. So unfortunately, these slides are cosmetic only. Basically, everything on this is cosmetic only. So we need to start sending Frontier some email and all that kind of stuff, or tagging them on social saying, hey, we need a splash pad pack, right, or a DLC for that, because it would be so cool if they were able to actually use all of this stuff. And then let's check what time it is real quick. Oh, we have a long time until it. Let's go ahead and I need to activate the big bucket here. So let's go ahead and activate that, because it's I have it queued up on the hour. So here we go. Boom, bucket. Yeah, those are great. Now, again, that'd be awesome if we could get that in game without having to kind of simulate it with all of the trigger effects, right? So, but yeah, that is the splash pad area. And also, I don't think I've shown these guys off, but I found these guys in the, I think it's the aquatic or the resort theme or something like that. Look at this guy. He's sitting there actually kind of looking at him. It almost looks like. But yeah, I love these little tiki looking dudes. Remind me of the tiki guys at Disney World and Disneyland. But yeah, I got them spitting out water periodically at people and blowing bubbles, because why not? There you go. So yeah, no, and also I want to point out, I keep remembering random things from this area. This little object right here, this is on the workshop as well, if you would like it for your splash pads and stuff like that. And then the last thing I want to show off over here is when we get custom music and custom audio files that we can put in game, I want to kind of come back over here and kind of add a gag over here, because at least at this splash pad that I mimicked it after, if you were to turn this, it kind of triggers a sound to play. Like I think it's a big foghorn or something like that that goes off. So and it kind of freaks people out. And also I think there's a big jet of water that hits you as well. So you know, it's just kind of fun little gag stuff like that. But yeah, here's one last little look at this place, and I don't think I've mentioned it this far in the episode yet. But if you'd like to get your own kind of look at this, there will be a pin pinned comment with the Frontier Workshop code if you'd like to go ahead and download this park and check it out yourself and expand it yourself. I do have a few expansion pathways kind of littered around the area for a natural expansion of the area. So if you want to go ahead and take control of Riverside Splash Park, you can kind of manage it yourself, and there you go. So let's go ahead and move on from the splash pad lazy river area to what's gonna be, it's gonna be the last ride here. That's gonna be the Splash Blaster, and this is probably one of the most requested rides to be built at the park, and deservedly so. This is a really fun, really cool ride. I did model this after a former real world water coaster called Splash Blaster that was at Magic Waters. They did unfortunately have to take it out. I didn't know why originally when I first posted the video, but I did some research. And the reason why is that so it was built in 2001, ripped out in 2000, I believe it was 19. But yeah, the ride originally cost $3 million, and over the course of its lifetime, it had racked up medical bills and lawsuits against it for hurting guests for $2.97 million. So at that point, the park kind of looked at that and said, oh, you know what? This is stupid. We shouldn't have this. This is bad. And yeah, I mean, it is such a cool ride, but these type of rides in general, I think if they're not done extremely well or engineered extremely well, they are prone for bad things to happen with them and getting your back hurt and neck hurt specifically on them, especially because of the cages that are over top of them. But anyways, that's just a little short history on this relic of a ride, because this no longer exists in the real world, but this is pretty dang close to how it looked in real life. So let's go ahead, enough gabbing about it, and we will take a ride on Splash Blaster. Splash Blaster. Yeah, that's such a fun little ride, and like I said, it's pretty dang close to the actual recreation of the ride. I did look up the stats for it that were still out there, so I made sure it was the right height, they even had like the angle of the lift hill and everything like that. But the only place that it kind of falls short, and that's from the game limitation, is that unfortunately when you do these blasting points right here, the water points right here, they have to be straight and have a straight track section, and you can't like really alter it at all as far as up and down goes. And that's unfortunate because in the real world one, those are kind of on an angle that's on an uphill angle and a downward angle and everything like that. So they are able to kind of be altered like that. So that kind of stinks a little bit. And I also wish for cosmetic purposes that you could add these cages right here, this protective cage anywhere you wanted to, because essentially this entire front section right here where you have especially the double down to start the ride and then this little pop of airtime, which you did get airtime right here. It was the weirdest sensation on a water ride. Anyways, it's all caged in, and I did attempt to build like an exact clone over top of the entire ride with like the cage section on it, but it just was not going to be working out well or anything like that. But anyways, those little, I guess, gripes beside, I really enjoy how Splash Blaster turned out. And speaking of how I like turned out, I really like how this all turned out. This was so much fun. This is a great little introduction for myself into Planet Coaster 2 and water parks. Before the game came out, I'll be honest, I was not terribly stoked dude, on the water park aspect of it, but to be honest with you, it's quickly become one of my favorite aspects of the game. I know there's some reasonable gripes as far as the physics and all that go, and you know, I'm not gonna argue against that or anything, but what we have to start with is really fun and really cool. Again, I've mentioned it in different Discord servers and stuff, but this whole project, like, I did very little actual building of like using building pieces and stuff like that, and just really heavily focused on the slides to do the talking essentially. And they really do, like they're huge on the landscape. I mean, look at the big funnel back here, you know, the big section all back here and everything, all the bright colors. Typically slides have these, again, really just in your face. It's funny, they either have these big in your face colors, or if they're like an older slide, it's like this beige, like don't look at me color basically. So you can kind of tell like an older slide is like beige, like I'm a slide, and then new slides like I'm a slide. So yeah, it's that's kind of the difference there. But no, again, no, it's kind of giving me a nice appreciation for building some slides. And yeah, I can't wait until the next project that we're gonna do with water slides and water parks and everything. And I already kind of have that getting drawn up in the background, and I think I'm leaning a little bit towards a cross between, now just stay with me, okay? A cross between like River Country from old Disney World meets a pirate theme. All right, so I know that we don't have a pirate theme necessarily in game, but we have enough pieces to make that happen, right? We definitely have enough pieces to make that happen. I might have to do some custom building and stuff like that, maybe get some reach out to people in the community to build me some custom things, but we can totally make a pirate theme work. And then with the River Country bit, I just want to kind of have the park integrated into the landscape and foliage to a way that it's seamless. That was a big thing with River Country, is that the slides looked like they were basically carved out of the rock work and the landscape, kind of similar to Typhoon Lagoon. Disney's really great at doing that, making the slides look like they're in the landscape. But yeah, I want to basically keep that going with a pirate theme on it, like a pirate island and stuff like that, with a, you know, big pirate town kind of themed after the movie Hook, like that pirate town and everything. Just different skulls and mountains and tropical, and it's gonna be good. But anyways, enough about the future. Let's go ahead and send off the present here. So hey, thanks so much everyone for the response to this series. Definitely the biggest series I've ever done on my channel by far. So if you've stuck around from this series, thanks so much for sticking around and everything. I do appreciate that. And again, like I mentioned, if you'd like to download this park, there will be a code down below for the Frontier Workshop to go ahead and enter that in. Go to the Frontier Workshop, and I believe it's in the upper right hand corner. There'll be an enter code area, and just go ahead and paste in the code that I put down below. So yeah, thanks again everyone for your support on this generic Midwest Riverside Splash Park build here. And yeah, hey, until the next series in Planet Coaster 2, have a good one.